We got an election coming up, and social media companies are making sure we get the correct facts. That might mean silencing a few voices. We are in trouble. Welcome to America Uncovered. I'm Chris Chappell. We got an election coming up. Woo! And social media companies are making sure we get the correct facts so we can make the right choice. That might mean silencing a few voices, but don't worry. They're private companies, so it's not a violation of the First Amendment. What's that, Shelley? Oh, it turns out they've been doing the bidding of the government. Have I mentioned how much I love our government? Please don't demonetize me. Earlier this month, the House Judiciary Committee released an interim staff report called the Censorship Industrial Complex, and it's pretty damning. It shows just how far the Biden administration was willing to go to pressure social media companies to censor on its behalf. Now, Facebook, for example, does a lot of its own content moderation. They say it's to amplify authoritative information. That's not what the Biden administration cared about. According to internal documents obtained from Facebook, employees got the sense that Biden officials cared a lot less about amplifying authoritative voices and cared a lot more about censoring content they didn't like. This was about getting Facebook to censor more, including borderline content that didn't technically violate Facebook's own community guidelines. At the center of the report is Rob Flaherty, who served as the White House's digital director and is now Biden's deputy campaign manager. And if he uses the same tactics he used as the White House's digital director in Biden's campaign, we are in trouble. He aggressively pushed Facebook to provide details on how the app would censor anti-vaccine content and the COVID lab leak theory, including statistics on what Facebook was and wasn't removing. The best way to characterize Flaherty is by his own words. He said, rather than inform, intellectually, my bias is to kick people off Facebook. Short of deplatforming, Flaherty wanted Facebook to remove posts, even if they didn't violate their community guidelines. Many Facebook employees were frustrated, many complaining of harassment, political scapegoating, and a lack of clarity on what misinformation even means. Like, look at this guy's emails to the Facebook team. Where does he think he is using that kind of language? The YouTube comment section? Can you imagine if US government officials talked that way to news organizations like the New York Times or CNN? In fact, one email even said that the Biden administration's response to disinformation seemed like a political battle, not fully grounded in facts, and it's frustrating. I can't believe it. I actually feel bad for the people at Facebook. And they won't even let you search for the China Uncensored Facebook page. I wonder if Flaherty had something to do with that. But as bad as it was at Facebook, what the Biden administration was doing on YouTube was even worse. And a lot of the troubles I've been having on my channels make a whole lot more sense now. Because while the Biden administration faced some pushback from Facebook, YouTube went all in. From internal emails, we see that under pressure from the Biden administration, YouTube changed its content moderation policies and even submitted those changes for White House approval. And it wasn't just limited to COVID, it spanned a range of topics, from climate misinformation to abortion, even airline competition. I'm not sure what to make of that last one. Now remember, this is the guy running Biden's campaign. The Biden administration is supposed to be separate from the Biden campaign. But if the administration is putting pressure on social media companies to crack down on content that criticizes Biden's policies, that definitely affects the election. The horrible thing about all of this is that these Biden administration officials think by censoring people, they're defending democracy. Politico ran this article about a feud between the Biden administration and the New York Times. I'd check it out if I were you, but I'll give you the gist. Biden officials really don't like how the New York Times has covered Biden. They think the New York Times hasn't been critical enough of Trump. Yes, you heard me, the New York Times not tough enough on Trump. In their eyes, any critical coverage of Biden, and especially his son Hunter, is seen as support for Trump. That's why one administration official said the Times is failing at its important responsibility of upholding democracy. Could you imagine the New York Times staff hearing that they're the Trump supporters? The Biden administration doesn't like gas stoves, but they're huge fans of gaslighting. Now, the Biden administration is refusing to do sit-down interviews with the Times. And some reporters even found themselves cut off by sources after publishing pieces Biden and top aides didn't like. This summer, the Supreme Court is expected to rule on whether Biden officials violated the First Amendment by coercing social media companies to censor content. But this whole thing makes me wonder what's going on with this show on YouTube. I've definitely been critical of the Biden administration, and then suddenly, in the month of April, America Uncovered lost more than 1,000 subscribers. That's never happened before. I've had plenty of people, though, tell me that they've been secretly unsubscribed from the show by YouTube before. But this was on another level. And when I posted about that on my other channel, China Uncensored, suddenly I got back 1,000 subscribers. Weird things are going on, and it's a real threat to our freedom and way of life. That's why, as we approach the election, your support is more important than ever. Like, subscribe, and share these videos with friends. And since I'm not making enough money on YouTube to fund the show, I need your support on the crowdfunding website patreon.com/AmericaUncovered. All it takes is $1 an episode. I usually make about 12 episodes a month, but if that's too much for you, you can always set a monthly limit. You can even help me to continue uncovering America for just $1 a month. Just click on this orange button to support the show. And if you didn't know, I also hide talk about news and politics in gaming content to get around all these YouTube shenanigans on my new show, Deep Thoughts While Gaming. Click here for the latest. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. Thanks for watching America Uncovered.